Hello everyone, it's Rocco the Crins with another YouTube video. And today I want to talk about the DCEU, or as I call it, DC Comics movies. I mean, what is that? DCCM. Whatever. And, there's been a lot of hatred towards this series of films. I don't share it. I don't understand. I honestly don't. I see a lot of great movies get panned by critics. And I'm not sure what's happening there. I mean, honestly, I do believe, Disney and their big money can pay off critics of their rivals. Funny thing is, they can't do that with comic books. Because in the comic book market, DC owns all. Or at least it had. I think things are falling back to regular, Marvel comics still suck, but they're coming up. DC Comics has been great, and they're coming down. But Black Panther just hit $1 billion. And it's just another fucking Marvel movie. Ugh, how does this keep happening? And just a month from now, we're gonna have an Infinity War. And I tell you, what's that about? I mean, I already know Thanos and shit, and Power Stones of some kind. I mean, I know because I'm a comic book reader for the last 35 years or so. But I don't understand. I don't understand how Marvel does so well and DC fails. Unless there's some kind of shill going on. Critics hate the DC movies because they're paid by Marvel. I don't know if that's true. It's just a feeling I have. Because no studio does well. Other than Disney. And I see a lot of movies, every year. And not only Disney movies are good, because I think Disney movies are getting kind of bland and vanilla, and I'm not a big fan of what they're doing with all the awesome characters they own. Look at Star Wars, the Last Jedi. I've only seen it once, and when I left the theater, I was like, man, I want to talk about this, and of course, I'm a lonely guy, so I had no one to talk about it with. But my initial reaction was it was awesome. I totally loved what they did there. And, then, a couple days later, you go online and everyone's talking shit about it, how it's, how it's just the worst thing ever. I'm like, wait, what? Like, I had it right below Empire Strikes Back. I mean, really, I did. But people are online saying it's the worst thing ever. Because it's all SJW. And I'm like, wait, what? I mean, I understand not liking Rey because she's so awesome at everything. And, I still feel that way. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Rey. I wanted to be, but I can't be. Finn is my favorite character, I think. Because he has self-doubt, but he's always heroic when it matters. You know what I mean? In both those movies, Finn shows his true side. He's like, I just want to get away from the First Order. I hate them. It sucks. But if we stay here, they're going to take us over. And I have to get the fuck out before they get here. I really enjoyed that part of his personality. But when it was like, oh shit, my friend was taken by the First Order, I gotta go save her. No matter what. I just love that. I love his character. And he wakes up in the First Order, or the new movie, The Last Jedi. And his first question is, where's Rey? That's a friend for life. That's a guy you want. I mean, people say he's a SJW, he's like or just a, what do you call him? Token. Like he's a token black guy. I don't see it at all. I think they're just a bunch of racist assholes. Because I think Finn is one of the best Star Wars characters of all time. I really like him. Because he has true spirit. You know, he's a lot like Luke in the early movies. You know, Luke didn't want to do anything until he was forced to. And it's the same thing with Finn. But Finn didn't have to make his choice. You know, when he took Poe aside and was like, I need to get out of here. Can you help me? You know? That was him deciding, I need to do something because my life fucking sucks. I don't want to do this anymore. And of course he had Poe, like the greatest dude ever, saying, yeah, dude, get me to one of them ships. We'll get the fuck out of here. I love it. Absolutely love it. But that was Finn's idea. And of course he had no identity until Poe gave it to him. You know? That's another thing I love. That friendship. I mean, I understand Poe. I mean, he'd just been like brainwashed by the Dark Lord of the Sith or whatever you call him. You know, just hosed. And, you know, they're taking him somewhere to be executed, probably. And Finn picks him up. He's like, hey, I want to get the fuck out of here. How about you? And he's like, yes, man. And it wasn't, I don't think Poe and Finn's relationship was at all based on, you know, tokenism. You know, they want to say, you know, oh, he's the token black guy in this universe. Like Lando. And if you say like Lando, fuck you, eat bags of dicks until you fucking choke and die. Because Lando was not a token black in the Star Wars movies. He's one of the smoothest motherfuckers in the universe. And I'll never take that back. I love Lando Calrissian. And I love Finn. And it's not just because I'm a white dude that loves black dudes. That sounded weird. But no, I mean, I think Finn's whole person is awesome. Especially in The Force Awakens. I really like him in that. I think his through line in The Last Jedi is kind of, well, pointless. But his heart is true. His heart is in the right place throughout that whole movie. And I love that character for it. I mean, when he was going to die, I was like, I guess that's cool. This whole movie's had people die. You know, it's like, oh, about Snoke? Sorry for spoilers. But, you know, Snokey dies, and I thought Finn was going to die, and Luke was going to die, and, you know, Leia was going to die. And, you know, it's just like, these aren't the movies we grew up with. Or I did, at least. And if I have any friends out there that are watching these videos, you know, the ones I grew up with, I'd like it if you watch these videos. I really would. I'm talking about AJ and PJ and, you know, Mike and yeah, shit. Anyways, let's make sure this is still going. This video is supposed to be about the DCEU. And it went off on a Star Wars tangent. Huh. Well, I guess I should keep on that Star Wars tangent. At least it's going somewhere. So yeah, Finn. Great character. Gets a lot of shit for being a token. And he's not token black. He's not. Finn totally rules. To me. But, like I said, his thread in The Last Jedi was kind of pointless. But I understand why he did it. And if you don't understand why he did the things he did, you know, then you're like, oh, fuck him. And I guess, like, Poe, who, when I saw the movie the first time, I loved his character. He's willing to risk everything to stop the First Order. Everything he can. And it costs a lot of lives. It did. And it basically stymied the rebellion, if that's what we want to call him. That's what I'd like to call him. But Poe, I don't know, he lives by his heart. He's a hero like that. Damn the consequences, we have to win. You know? And that's how he feels. He's like General Patton. If you're aware of him. He's a real piece of work. But Poe wants to win because the bad guys are so bad. You know what I mean? They're not gonna take him prisoner and then like sell him back to their loved ones for money. No, they're gonna execute them all. They're gonna kill everyone if they're caught. And so the only thing you can do is fight them until your last breath. I love Poe. And then he's shot down by a bunch of bitches. And if one of them would have said, here's the plan, if one of them would have said, here's the plan, Finn doesn't take off, Rose doesn't take off, they follow the plan. It makes sense. You know what I mean? If they let Poe in on it, everything goes according to plan. Instead, they keep him out of the loop on purpose. Because why? Because they're women. And women don't want to share information with men when women are in power. And this is something that I think is true in real life. So anyways, they don't share that information with Poe. And it leads to the death of so many people. Take that to heart, women. Don't leave men out of the loop. If you got a plan, don't say, nothing. How you feeling? I'm okay. Any of that bullshit. Tell the truth, and the world moves way faster and better in your regard. That's about enough on that topic. Because if anybody even watched these videos, I'm telling you, if you watch these videos, there's a little insight here. I'm not the smartest dude in the world, but I am, I've lived a long time, and I've seen the way that things really work between men and women. When a woman says I'm fine, that means anything but. If there's a guy watching this video and your girlfriend says that to you, don't believe her. Go buy her some flowers or something. I don't know. I don't honestly know how to get through to that stupid fucking mindscape that all women have. Anyways, let's get back to the new Star Wars. I guess that's what we're talking about. Ethan Van Sciver the other day said he hated it all. Like, because they're killing his heroes from his youth. And I'm like, I understand that, but they're telling a different kind of story. And those heroes from the past, I don't know. But he also quoted, like, Nietzsche or something. He's like, forget the past. Kill it if you have to. That's not Kylo Ren. He didn't write those words. No, it's like Nietzsche or Hitler or someone. It's really bad. And, I understand where he's coming from. But I'm just a fan of movies. And I don't like the prequels, but I do think the second movie should have gotten at least nominated for Best Editing. Episode 2, watch it again. I know it's the most hated one ever, but if you watch it again, you'll see what I mean. Like, there's never a dull moment in that movie. As things start to slow down, there's an edit. It's so good. When I saw it in the theater, I was like, this is so rad. Because it goes from here to here to here to here to here to here. And here's the worst part. It was opening day and I was the only one there. It was bad. The fallout from episode 1 was bad in my town. I don't believe it was that way anywhere else. But in my town, the fallout from episode 1, which I saw 5 times in the theater, but I'm old, don't forget, and I'd been missing Star Wars for a long time. And I saw it 3 times on opening day, episode 1. And I bought the DVD, super special edition DVD. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm a total nerd for Star Wars episode 1. I'm not even a fan of it. I don't think it's a very good movie, but there are parts of it that I really like. But I think, like, The Last Jedi is a movie I can watch from beginning to end, and I won't say there's not a part in it I don't like. And that's why it's right up there for me with The Empire Strikes Back. Because I think The Empire Strikes Back is one of the greatest movies ever made. And The Last Jedi, well, The Last Jedi did nothing wrong in my eyes. But I've only seen it once. And I don't have a really critical eye. I want to be entertained. That's it. When I go to the movies, I want to be entertained. And if I am, thumbs up at the end of the movie. I saw The Dark Tower, thumbs up. I saw The Mummy, thumbs up. I saw Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets that everyone hated. Ugh! I don't think anybody saw it. And that's why I say everyone hated it. I think critics gave it a negative review, like that Rotten Tomatoes bullshit. Gave it a negative review, and no one went and saw it. But me and a couple friends went and saw it. We came out, we were like, that movie was so fucking rad. Anyways, I digress. I was talking about Star Wars. But Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets is an awesome movie. Check it out if you dare. I mean, don't waste your hour and a half. I know you're losing an hour and a half of your life or whatever. Now that we count things like that, we didn't used to. And of course, people will sit in front of their TV for 8 hours watching Jessica Jones. 13 hours watching Jessica Jones season 2. And probably 1,000 of women in America have already wasted their time with that. An hour and a half to watch an awesome action sci-fi movie that has a girl and a guy, and there's a romance in there. Not a very good one, I'll admit, but it makes sense. Throughout the movie, at least to the guy's perspective, a girl might feel completely different. And the girl in the movie feels completely different than the dude. But at the end of the movie, they're together and it's awesome. I love it. Anyhow, but critics pan that movie. Critics love The Last Jedi, but it's a Disney movie. So let's see. And of course, fan reaction was like negative. And, you know, to all those people that have been like, I want to know who Snoke is. I want to know who Rey's parents are. I want to know what happened between Luke and Kylo. Well, we got to see that one. Twice. And we still haven't seen the truth. There's 3 sides to every story, if you don't know. There's your side, and that guy's side, and the truth. So maybe in the next movie we'll see the truth. But I liked the fact that it changed. You know? You see the 2 sides, but there's actually the truth in there somewhere. But I like that they showed Luke and Kylo Ren, you know? And Luke, you know, like he says at the beginning of the movie, like, I'm going to show up with a laser sword and save the universe. I love that aspect of him. And it's not that he doesn't care. It's just like, what can one man do? One man with a laser sword cannot take out the First Order. But it's amazing what one man can do. when he's not really there. OMG, man. I love Kylo Ren in that movie. He's so good in that movie. Like in the first movie, it was like, man, what a bitch. I couldn't stand him. But there was that one line near the end when he's fighting with Rey and he's like, you need a teacher. I can help you. I love it. And the way he delivers it, it's so good. And I'm just like, oh, but of course it's Rey. I don't know if we talked about Rey in this video. Because I was starting one earlier, and yeah, anyways. Rey is, well, she's too good at everything. I don't really like her. But I love the fact that she goes to Luke in the Last Jedi for training. Like, she just beat a Dark Lord of the Sith in a lightsaber battle. She used the Force to change a dude's mind about what was going to happen. And, she did all that other Force shit that, And then she wants to go to Luke for training. I did like the fact that, Yoda was there and he's like, or someone said, I think it was Snoke even, when the darkness rises, the light comes. And, I think in that area, in that part of the story, Snoke wasn't wrong, or Snokey, I don't know how you say his name. But, I don't think he was wrong, The light will come. Just like, when darkness rises, the light comes to face it. I mean, it's like that in almost every fantasy world, and Star Wars is a fantasy world. I mean, it's sci-fi, of course, but, Anyways, The Last Jedi. I was still defending that. Like I said earlier, if the women had just for once, which isn't the truth, because in all previous Star Wars movies, the women share all information they have with the men, so that the men can do things. In Rogue One, the women share everything they know with the men, and the men decide not to do anything until a woman does something. I like that. But it's one woman and a bunch of men who decide to help her. You're with me on that, right? In Rogue One, the woman found out, holy shit, we have a way to stop this. All we have to do is go. And no one believed her, except the troops, And I loved Rogue One. Saw it 5 times in the theater. 5 fucking times in the theater. And I took a friend to see it. He's like, dude, I hate Star Wars. And I'm like, not after this. And we got out, and he's like, well, that one was way better than all the other ones. And he's a Star Trek guy. I don't know. It's the emotional thing. It's the way you feel when you see these movies. That's what gets me, Like, this is why I love Star Wars. There's an emotional feel. In the episodes 1, 2, 3, I never got emotional. I was very practical about those movies. I wanted to be emotional, but the only emotion I got was hatred and anger. It's not good. It's not a good way to live your life, so I try to give up on that stuff. I mean, it's not to say I don't get angry about anything, but, those times are not all the time. I mean, but no, I could watch episode 1 right now and not be angry. I'd just be more, whatever. It is what it is. There's a character that was built in just to appeal to kids. And then there's R2 and C-3PO. And they're in there to, make us old people feel like the kids we were when we saw episode 4, A New Hope, all those years ago. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to, drive this home. I'm just saying this is how I feel. And I feel that, like, episode 1 through 3 try to tell a story. It was way different than what I knew. Now, I'm telling you, I'm a total Star Wars nerd. So I knew what the Clone Wars was before they changed it. To make, clones of Boba Fett? That's weird. I know it's not him, but that wasn't how it used to be when I was a kid growing up. When I was in my 20s and stuff, that was not it at all. I mean, if you remember, if you're an older guy like me and you can remember back to what's it called, Heir to the Empire? You ever see that or read that book by Timothy Zahn? I mean, if you have, you'll understand what the Clone Wars was, because they go over it. And I had an idea what the Clone Wars was before then. But, I wasn't entirely sure. But when Heir to the Empire came out, it's like we know what the Clone Wars was. Mandalore attacked. And they had so many, they were attacking every system in the galaxy. Except for the ones that Mandalore owned and ran. And so, they had the Jedi. And the Jedi were, like, doing their best, but there weren't enough of them. There weren't enough Jedis out there. So what did they do? What do you think they did? You can write it in the comments, but I'm going to tell you right now. They cloned the Jedis. So they'd have enough Jedis to go out there and fight the Mandalorians. And guess what happened? The Republic continued. Let me put it to you like that. The Republic continued. Now, let's get back to episode 8 that everyone hates. Online, everyone hates it. Every man is upset that it's a woman's movie. Every woman hates it because whatever. This is SJW bullshit, and none of it was... I didn't see any of it in the movie. It's just what the SJWs are doing to the movie. And they haven't even fucking seen it. SJWs won't go to the movie. They'll download it. They don't pay for anything. They're not an audience. The SJWs are not an audience. You don't have to cater to them for anything, because they're not going to do it. They're not going to see your movie. They're not going to go to your movie. They're not going to read your comic books. They're not going to do anything. But they want to be catered to because they think they're an audience, but they're not. Excuse me. Sorry for the rant. But Finn's sacrifice, it wouldn't have been there if one woman had told the truth. And she wouldn't have had to sacrifice her life if she told the truth. All she had to do was be honest. Leia just was frozen and shit. All that stupid shit. Using the Force. It had a perfect way to say so long to Leia. Not that I was all about getting rid of her. I wanted to see more of her. I mean, she's a princess, and always will be to me. As Max von Sydow says at the beginning of episode 7, or she's royalty, something like that. Anyways, it's good. It's good. She's great. Looks so good. Her voice doesn't sound so good, but you know what? She's an older woman. It happens. Happens to all of us. None of us are going to outlive time. Time will continue without us. Yeah, so Holdo, I think, is the real villain of the movie. I mean, there's a lot of villains in that movie, but Holdo, all she had to do was tell one dude the truth, and none of the parts that most people are complaining about, you know, when they go to that casino planet. I didn't have any complaints about it. I thought it was cool. But then they got to sneak on board, you know, Imperial, you know, Gallon, whatever they are, you know, the giant spaceships. They got to sneak on board, but they got to go here to get the code breaker, and then sneak onto one of those ships. I'm like, wait, what? This is very convoluted. But, you know, we get to see a new female character, but she's not good at anything. That's something I liked. But she had a heart as big as Star Wars, and I like her for that. I mean, just for that thing. I mean, she's in it for all the right reasons. She's disappointed that her sister died. She's very sad about it. But, you know, she didn't just let Finn just take off. No. She wasn't about to let Finn take off. But it's, you know, men cause problems, but the women don't stop them. All he was trying to do was get down to a planet so when Rey came back, she wouldn't be in the middle of a firefight. You know, he's a lot smarter than Leia, but he also, all he cares about is his friend. And, like, I don't know, he really cares for her. And that's the thing I didn't like, was bringing in Rose as, like, a supplicant. You know, like, she's gonna take Rey's place. No. No. She wasn't. She's just another cool character that I really liked. Full of love and hope. That's what we need more of in a world without it. You don't need less of them. You need more of them. So when I saw the movie the first time, I was like, well, her character's not a total waste. At least, you know, and it wasn't a waste at all. Her sister, on the other hand, that was a waste. You know, and that's Poe's fault. You know, pull out all the bombers. We're going to take down this giant fucking spaceship. And they need bombers. I don't know. I don't want to talk over, like, the science of Star Wars because none of it makes sense. It's not real. It's a fantasy. It's just a fantasy. Anyways, so let's see what happens next. Oh, the Battle of Crate. And boy, didn't that look cool. And boy, wasn't that pointless. I mean, the rebellion is, or whatever they call themselves, they are the most inept people ever. I mean, how many of them did they save? Like, at the end of the movie, there's like, what? Enough to fit on the Millennium Falcon? When they were on that ship, there were hundreds of them. I don't think you can fit 100 people on the Millennium Falcon. But now, of course, if Holdo had said to Poe, this is what we're doing, calm yourself, this is the plan, the plan would have worked off flawlessly. You know, the dude that was with Finn and Rose, He couldn't have told the First Order, oh yeah, I intercepted a plan where they're actually flying down to that planet down there, but you can't see it because, there's a giant spaceship in the way. And then, they started targeting all those spaceships and killing all those people. So, Holdo is responsible for all of them as well. A woman is responsible for the death of the rebellion. But she did redeem herself very well. Something I'd never seen in Star Wars. She went to hyperdrive, pushed right through all those bad dudes. I did really like it. I did really like that fact, but all she had to do was tell Poe, this is a plan, yo. All she had to do was tell him. But no. Bitches got their problems. Sorry. I know this is coming off a bit. No. I hate women in movies. I hate kids in movies. They always make the worst ideas. I mean, men in movies are stupid too, but women and children are the worst. If you leave them in charge, everyone dies. And have you seen the movie Aliens? What happened in that movie? Everyone dies, but one woman. And half a robot. But he's a robot. But we're not talking about that anymore. We're talking about Star Wars. And here's another thing. This is something important. We've all seen the original trilogy, right? How many of the heroes really die in that? I don't mean like Luke and Han and Leia. I mean like the rebellion. They attack on Yavin 4 when they go forth to fight the Death Star. What is it, like 5 TIE fighters go down? Or not TIE fighters, but Y-Wings, or whatever they're called. X-Wings. Maybe 2 of those go down, 1 Y-Wing, and they blow that fucking thing up. TIE fighters are dying everywhere. Because the rebellion is better. They're better pilots, and the reason they're better is because they care about what they're doing. This is what they're after. They're fighting for not just their lives, but the life of everyone they care about. They have a lot on the line. Where you see like a TIE fighter pilot, it's just his job. He might have a family at home. He might, but it's not a big deal. At least not to me. I don't think so. Because they don't really go into the lives of those people, but the rebellion are just a bunch of people fighting against an empire, a faceless empire. You do see the guys that are up on top, we do see them quite often. Grand Moff Tarkin, which is so glad I saw him in Rogue One again. I mean, it looked a little weird the first time. I saw that movie in the theater 5 times. I love it. And I love seeing him again. And the douchebag that he is, I love it. I never want to be a member of the Empire because I'd have someone like him on top. And, anyways, no. Women make mistakes in The Last Jedi. It cost Luke his life. The movie before cost Han his life, and in the real world, we lost Princess Leia. And I'm hoping they don't digitize her like they did at the end of Rogue One. I really hope not. I hope, like, somewhere in the opening scroll, they say how she died. Because, well, the actress is dead. Let's not, maybe open the movie with a funeral for Princess Leia. I think that could be pretty moving. And I think that's honestly, right now, I think that's a very good idea. amongst all the terrible ones. I think that is a very good idea. Open the movie with a funeral for Princess Leia. Yeah. What do y'all think? And what do you think about this video? I mean, I wanted to talk about something and then my mind went somewhere else. It happens. I think it I don't know if you guys have seen this. There's a deleted scene from The Last Jedi. And it's Finn and Phasma, right? And I don't know if you've seen it yet, so I don't want to spoil it, but it's pretty awesome. It's available online. I think Star Wars themselves put it up online. But it gives like a new scene between them two. And I think when I saw it the one time today, I thought it was pretty awesome. I mean, Phasma's a badass, and they try to show that off. And of course, Finn with his rebel scum. I love it. Oh. Excuse me. Let's see, we're 41 minutes in, and I haven't really gotten to Luke Skywalker. Alright. When he shows up and talks to Leia, I was like, hell yeah. Well, the first time I saw it in the theater, I was, getting rather emotional. And I was like, dude, there's an X-Wing right outside, because we saw it earlier in the movie. There's an X-Wing underwater. He can get there. If he has to, he can get there. And I was like, dude, he can get out there and just fuck shit up, because Luke Skywalker, we all know he's a great pilot, He's one of the best X-Wing pilots ever. So he can get out there, he can do that. Oh, I was so excited. But he's like, sorry about what I told Rey. But yeah, I'm a guy with a lightsaber. I'm going to go out there and save the universe. And he kisses his sister goodbye, and he goes out through the, the crack in the door. And boy, does he play. Oh my God, does he play. It's so awesome. I mean, that scene where, like they blast him with everything. Whatever his name is, Kylo Ren. He's such an emotional wreck. I love him. In this movie, I absolutely get him. I get him in this movie. Emotions give you power in the dark side of the Force. And, he gets so emotional. I love his character because he plays just like you expect him to. Luke shows up. He's got his blue lightsaber out there. And Kylo Ren is like, hit him with everything we got. Everyone. Because it's emotion, right? He's like, no. We got to kill the past. Remember, we got to kill the past if we have to. I love the fact that Luke got to say he was sorry to Kylo. I love that part. He's like, hey, Ben, I'm sorry. But if you strike me down now, I'll be more powerful. That line that Ben Kenobi said all those years ago. But it was really well delivered. And, when all the ashes are gone and you see Luke and he kind of wipes off his shoulder, that shit was so cool. That shit was so fucking cool. I understand he wasn't really there. I didn't know that at that point. I'd seen him with Leia. Looks like he cut his hair and he, the blue lightsaber, it should have thrown me off, but it didn't, because I know that's with Rey, and Rey fought with everyone else up on the ship with that, but I didn't catch it right away. I was not as observant as everyone else on the internets. But yeah, I absolutely loved that scene between Kylo and Luke. But Luke's apologized. You know, he said, I'm sorry, dude. I'm not the great hero. Just like he told Rey. It's not what's in me. It's what's in everyone. You know, I just happened to be there at the right time. And I made this happen. So, here we are. And Kylo Ren gave all his emotions, dude. Like, he saw the Millennium Falcon and he's just like, get that thing out of the sky. That hunk of junk, get it out of here. I love that reaction because it's all about his emotions, how he feels. And that's what drives him, you know? It's what, like, you listen to Snoke while he's talking about Kylo Ren early in the movie, when he's talking shit about him. He's like, oh yeah, old man. And then he brings Rey to him and he's like, I know. Yeah, well, you didn't know that he was going to chop you in half. That was pretty fucking rad. I absolutely love that, and I don't give a fuck who Snooki was. Just some fool that, you know, worked his whole life to bring the Empire back, only to, you know, get chopped in half by his apprentice. Now, I'd read in a magazine that those dudes in the red, those are the Knights of Red, or whatever you call them. The Knights of Red. I don't know. You can correct me in the comments. Because I'm not sure. Knights of Ren? I don't know. Excuse me. Anyways. Yeah, this is going to be a good video. Anyhow, so the Knights of Ren. That's it. Kylo Ren. The Knights of Ren. Yeah, that makes sense. Those guys in the red were the Knights of Ren. And, you know, Rey and Kylo killed them all. So I don't expect to see the Knights of Ren in the next movie. I don't expect to, unless Kylo is going to get some new ones. And that's something that could very well happen in episode 9. Written by J.J. Abrams. I don't know if he's bad or good. I love Star Trek, the one he did. And I loved The Force Awakens. I'm not going to talk shit about the other ones of the Star Trek movies because I didn't see them, so I don't know them. But I love the first one. And I honestly told everyone to go see it. And I hope it did really well. Because I really, 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 really liked it. If I had to put that many reallys there. Anyways. The Force Awakens is a cool movie. The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi is an awesome movie. And it's okay if you don't like it. I mean, I had to listen to everyone talk shit about it for the last month before I made this video. And I'm still right where I was after I saw it. It's an awesome movie. I don't give a fuck about your expectations and, you know, your, I wanted to know who Rey's parents are. I want to know where Snoke come from. I wanted to do, and I wanted it to, fuck you. Write your own movie. Direct your own movie. Tell your own story. This is Star Wars as we know it right now. Damn, I sound like a bitch on that. Anyways, this is Star Wars right now. If you don't like it, get the fuck out. It's not for you. And it's not for, they don't write it for me either. I just like it. You know, I've actually really enjoyed all three of the new Star Wars movies. And I'm very much looking forward to Han Solo. Now, I know everyone hates the kid that's playing him because he doesn't look like Han Solo. I don't like that's fine. The kid's a good actor. You seen Caesar's, whatever it's called? Shit. Get Caesar? Something like that. Hail Caesar. Hail Caesar. That's the name of the movie. You seen that movie? And if you haven't, you probably haven't seen this kid in anything. I saw that movie in the theater. I was like, that kid's rad. And when I saw that he was signed on to be Han Solo, I said, that's rad. And I said it out loud, too. When I found out that he was the dude gonna be Han Solo, yeah. Alden Ehrenreich, something like that. I don't know. I'm sorry I did your name really bad. But you know who you are. You're young Han Solo. And, you know, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes things, problems with that movie. And again, I'm just like, Disney, get out of your own way. You hired these people to make a Han Solo movie. Sure, there's a lot of comedy in there. And maybe there's a lot of improv in there, so your scriptwriter felt bad. I think that's what really happened. Scriptwriter come in and complain to Kennedy, what's her name? Something Kennedy. The one that runs Star Wars now, it's a woman. And that's why you get Rey. That's why we get Jyn. But at least Jyn wasn't good at everything. I like that. I mean, she couldn't fly a spaceship. But she was badass with guns and bombs and, you know, like being a general problem for people on a planet when it came to flying the ship.